Here's a very interesting question, variation of which we frequently see on the test. You clicked on the link in the phishing simulation email. Fortunately for you, it was just a test. During lunch, though, your colleagues are discussing and sharing how they all recognize the phishing email. What would you do? And you're presented with multiple choices that you need to select in order. Choice A. Listen to the rationale and observe behavior of your colleagues. Choice B. Stay strong. It is an informal lunch and you're not required to share anything. Choice C. Share the details of what happened with you and ask for an advice. And last but not least, choice D. Make a joke about your own mistake. Not an easy question, don't you think? Maybe pause this video to see if you need more time to reread the question and come up with the best possible answers. And on my end, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better ideas and better way to solve it, please make sure to post your answer and rationale in comments. I might be wrong, but I believe this question validates how candidate can learn from mistakes by valuing humility and open communication. This question tests on how much you value open communication and how much you value showing humility to share your own weaknesses and mistakes, potentially gaining respect and improving your relationships with others. I think open communication, even when sharing uncomfortable personal experiences and issues, helps to show you as a human, gain better connection with others, and ultimately learn from mistakes more effectively. Here's how this all might be applicable to this particular scenario. During phishing simulations, companies send the realistic phishing email to employees to determine their awareness of cyber attacks. Everyone makes mistakes. The key is to recognize it and learn from the experience to do better next time. You might wonder, why should you value humility and open communication? Let me give you 3 main reasons. First of all, we learn from failures much more than we learn from successes. And from my standpoint, failure is an opportunity to grow and build mental memory, to recognize the mistakes, to change your behavior in the future, and to come back as a stronger and better person. And last but not least is sharing your mistakes with others creates an environment of humility where other people feel safe and comfortable sharing their personal stories, which on its own end helps build strong, well-connected, and high-performing teams. Based on this information, I believe that there are 4 key essential traits that are assessed in this question: humility, authenticity, desire to learn, and open communication. There are also some red flags that this particular question can help pinpoint, and those red flags are selective communication, defensiveness, lack of faith in others, as well as lack of initiative and lack of confidence. Based on this, the least recommended answers are choices A and B. Choice A, listen to the rationale and observe behavior of colleagues, is not going to help you grow, is not going to help you become a better person, even though you might hide your mistake. And choice B, stay strong, it is an informal lunch and you're not required to share anything, is complete misconception of what strong means. You will be viewed as a much stronger person if you find courage and strength to share your mistakes and present yourself as a human being. I would recommend answering this question with the choices D and C. Humility, which represents a willingness to admit the weakness and ask for help, makes a person a more effective leader. Everyone makes mistakes, but if you prioritize open communication, you can demonstrate that you are a human being and you can learn from your own mistakes. Making a joke about your own weakness is almost always safe and helps to create a safe environment for other people to share. So I would recommend you select choice D, make a joke about your own mistake, and choice C, share the details of what happened with you and ask for advice as an answer to this question. Do you have a better solution? Please make sure to share your answer and rationale in comments. Here's a very interesting question on how to provide recommendation to your manager for the new product line. Your manager wants you to provide a recommendation on whether to continue investing in the new product line based on your analysis of the sales data. What is the best approach to analyze the sales data and provide the recommendation? You're presented with 4 different choices. Let's look at each one of them. Choice A. Conduct a simple analysis of the sales data and provide recommendation based on initial findings. Choice B. Conduct a comprehensive analysis of the sales data, including market trends and competitor data. Provide a recommendation based on your findings. Choice C. Provide a recommendation based on personal opinion and expertise without conducting any analysis of the sales data. And last but not least, choice D, provide a recommendation based on the sales data from a similar product line without analyzing the sales data for the new product line. Take a close look to see if you can select the correct answer. Are you ready? Ready or not, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I think the correct answer here is choice B. In choice B, you need to conduct a comprehensive analysis of the sales data, including market trends and competitor data. Provide a recommendation based on your findings. I think this choice is correct because it allows you to provide a thorough understanding of the sales data, ensuring more accurate and informed recommendation. Conducting a comprehensive analysis of the sales data is essential in making an informed decision for your manager. Let's also look at the incorrect choices to determine why they are incorrect. Option A is too simplistic and can get the result in an incomplete assessment of the sales data. Option C is unreliable and can be seen as unprofessional since it's based on personal opinion and experience without any supporting data. And last but not least, choice D is not recommended since it involves using sales data from a similar product line, which may not be relevant to the new product line. Was your answer different? If it was, please make sure to post your answer and solution in comments. On this channel, we hear from a lot of people that try to take the test, but then fail it and justify their unpreparedness with a bunch of excuses. The most common excuses are lack of time and lack of resources. Let's look at both of those in more details so you can understand the resemblance with yourself and your own habits and hopefully learn from those and try to avoid these excuses. Number one is lack of time. Some individuals feel that they do not have enough time to adequately prepare for the test, especially if they have a busy schedule or other commitments. The best way to overcome the lack of time is to prioritize your task, create and maintain a schedule, use commute time to prepare, and stay focused and get help when you need it. I myself try to set 3 to 5 big goals for the day, try to maintain an effective schedule, or at least I think so, and use my commute time for studies. Number two reason, lack of resources. Preparing for an employment assessment test may require certain resources such as practice tests, study materials, or access to a tutor. Individuals who do not have access to these resources may feel at the disadvantage. The best way to overcome this issue is to use free resources, do your own research, join person or online study group, and stay positive throughout the process to avoid being discouraged. For example, I myself always try to use free resources to better understand the challenge, try to understand my limitations, and build my plan on how to improve my weaknesses, and recommend that you do the same. What is your experience in coming up with the excuses to prepare for the assessment test? Please share the most common excuses in comments so all members of the community on this channel can support you and help you to overcome them. And now let's continue to get you ready for the assessment test. Let's look at the tricky question which does not have the obvious answer. You received a rude email which uses non-professional language from your coworker. What should you do? You're presented with multiple choices and you need to select all that apply in order. Choice A. Wait for 24 hours before responding. Choice B. Reply back with similar tone to show strength. Choice C. Read email carefully to ensure you understand the meaning of each sentence. Choice D. Delete the email to eliminate trace and avoid conflict. And last but not least, choice E. Forward email to HR and copy your manager. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. Did you figure it out? I am moving forward to share with you my version of the solution, and obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I believe this question tests your ability to control your emotions. When you're receiving unprofessional email, your anger buttons might be triggered, and you will get into emotionally elevated state. It is important to maintain professional posture, which would allow you to gain self-respect, as well as respect from colleagues, leadership team, and even the sender of the email. Once email is sent, it's impossible to unsend it, and this is the lesson you need to learn for yourself. Because of that, it is typically a good idea to wait before you respond, and use this time to learn more about the original message, try to understand sender's intentions, and also try to calm down yourself. Here are some steps on how you can respond to unprofessionally written email. You give another person benefit of the doubt. Reread the original message, analyze it to make sure there is no misunderstanding. Step number 2. Try to calm down by doing other activities and ideally waiting overnight. This way your emotions will no longer be elevated when you're sending the response. As a step 3, you can try to write multiple versions of the response without sending, compare them, and select the best response. And last but not least, in step 4, you need to try to stick to professional tone and language in your answer. Here are some of the essential traits assessed in this question. You can pinpoint self-control, patience, thoughtfulness, and giving others benefit of the doubt. Some of the red flags this question can also pinpoint is impulsiveness, which means acting without thinking, as well as using of unprofessional language. Based on this, the least recommended answers in order are choices B, D, and E. Choice B would be replying back with similar tone to show strength. In choice D, you would delete the email to eliminate the trace and avoid conflict. And last but not least, choice E, forwarding email to HR and copying your manager. Based on this, the recommended answers in order would be choices C and A. Responding to rude email in professional way helps you practice patience, enhance your customer service skills, and try to gain self-respect as well as respect from others. It is also an opportunity for you to better understand others and grow as a person. Taking accountability and responding yourself to the message also helps you deal with the issues directly and avoid unnecessarily escalations to HR and to your manager. So my recommended answers here are choice C, read email carefully to ensure you understand the meaning of each sentence, and choice A, wait for 24 hours before responding, would be my most recommended answers. Do you have a better way to solve this challenge? Please make sure to post your answers and rationale in comments. Here's an amazing question to test your skills interacting with others. Your colleague asks you to help respond with the customer inquiry and indicated that this is an urgent and time-sensitive issue. You're currently working on a project with the tight deadline, and remember that when you ask colleague to help you with the project tasks earlier, you didn't receive any help. What should you do? And you're presented with 5 choices from which you need to select all that apply in order. Choice A, learn to say no. Explain that because you're working on a tight deadline project, you don't want to waste any time. Choice B, try to help as much as you can. Choice C, have a conversation with your colleague after your project is completed. Choice D, try to be respectful and understand another person's point of view. And last but not least is choice E, escalate the issue to your manager. Take a close look to see what would you choose on the real test as an answers for yourself. And on my end, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post your answer and rationale in comments. I believe that this question is about creating a positive environment at work. And this is more than anything an opportunity question. And the main reason is because there is no workplace rule which regulates this situation. So there is no single right or wrong answer, and you act voluntarily in this situation. But if you're intentional about creating positive work environment, there is no better way to do it than by building a good relationship with your colleagues. Here's the thought process. You spend a large time of your workday with your colleagues at work, and having great relationship in the workplace helps create a lot of positive energy and goodwill. One of the best ways to create friendships and goodwill at work is by helping others to solve their problems, sometimes without expecting anything in return. I would recommend 5 ways to create positive work environment. Number 1, lead by example and sincerely try to help others at work. Number 2, be willing to do things that fall outside of your job description. Number 3, provide energy to colleagues around you by encouraging and supporting them. Number 4, assume positive intentions and trust your colleagues. And last but not least, number 5, take pride in the company vision and do what is best for the company and clients. Let's see how those principles can be used to answer this question. Let's first look at essential traits. The key essential traits tested in this question are taking initiative, team orientation, developing your colleagues, as well as leading by examples. There are also 4 red flags that can be pointed based on your answers. They are defensiveness, lack of goodwill, unnecessary escalation, and creating a drama in the workplace. Based on this, the least recommended answers in order would be choices A and E. Choice A: learn to say no. Explain that because you're working on a tight deadline project, you cannot waste any time. If you think of helping others as wasting your time, you will not get any positive emotions in their mind, and you will not get any brownie points from them. Choice E: escalating the issue with your manager will show that instead of building relationships at work, you're more interested in creating drama in the workplace. Based on this, I recommend choices B, C, and D. You always have an opportunity to show goodwill and take a first step to build a good relationship. And there's no better way to build friendships and create positive work environment than by leading by example and helping others to solve their problems, sometimes doing it without expecting anything in return. At the same time, you don't want to be burned out, and it is always helpful to have a conversation few days after completing the tasks to learn more about your colleague's work style and to better understand their position. Based on this, my recommended answers are in order. Choice B: try to help as much as you can. Choice C: have a conversation with your colleague after your project is completed. And last but not least, choice D: try to be helpful and understand other person's point of view. Do you have a better way to solve it? Please make sure to post your answer and rationale in comments. Thanks for watching. If the content was helpful, please give us a like and consider subscribing. This is the way for you to tell us that you need more content like this, and we'll make sure to deliver it for you in the future. For links and resources referenced in this video, please check the description. You can also go directly to our website, howtoanalyzedata.net, to find what you're looking for and download the materials. We really thank you for your endorsement, support, and patronage of this channel. Please leave feedback, suggestions, or corrections in comments. And all the best on your journey. I'll see you in my next video.